Okay, guys, welcome back to another Life with Lenoci episode. Sorry we missed a week. I was literally on the road for 10 days, and we'll get into that. But first, we're back in the studio with Mark this week. Not a solo one this week, but back with Mark, the AKA the feeder of the bits. So we got a silly episode this week, and we'll recap comedy and the comedy scene via my eyes. But my dad is coming into town Thursday. And he'll be here for 3 weeks, and I'm entertaining him. But we got to do some daddy podcast. Hey, Papa Dad.
I'm excited to meet him.
How are we I'm worried to bring him to this shithole. He's gonna be like, what is that smell?
Then you get him to smoke.
No, we'll give him edibles, but not on the. Maybe we will for an episode. We'll see.
Oh, yeah.
How do we do it? Should we do it in front of those?
No. We do it like this and have the TV between you, and we bring images of you as a child, and he can be like, "Oh yes,
that's
he
funny.
was a shitbag."
Maybe so, and then you'll have just 2 cameras or 1.
We'll do full 3.
And you're gonna have a switchboard.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good episode.
Yeah.
Because everybody watches if they're like, that was messy. It didn't look good. Not all shots were 4K. It's got to be good.
We'll do it.
Oh, he's not excited anymore. He's excited.
Well, I'm excited, but then you just sucked the joy out of it.
Listen, bro.
Because without even giving me the chance, you're like, ooh, but we got to make sure it's like this. And we got to be
bro, I'm sorry you have a mediocre podcast studio.
It's like this, when you're going to kill me for this. Like when your mom still goes hey, make sure you look both ways across the street. I'm fucking 40.
Well, my mom didn't look both ways, and that's why she's not here.
I was wondering where you're going to go with that.
Listen, guys, you don't think you suck the life out of me? I don't want to do a podcast with you.
Says the man who drives across town.
Well, I mean, it's just easier because then I don't have to do the work, and then I can maybe send it to Matt, and we'll hopefully figure out if he could do clips.
You enjoy my company. You shut your mouth.
It's a different dynamic. It is a different dynamic. And so that's something to look forward to. I assume will be the next 2 episodes, maybe 3. I mean, he's here for 3 weeks, so maybe we'll get 3 episodes with him. Just part 1, 2, and 3 of Mr. Manny Lenoci. He'll probably be like, I don't want to do that.
His name is Manny?
Yeah, Manuel.
I love it.
Yeah, he's an Italian stallion. He'll wear the headphones because he'll be like, huh?
Gotcha.
Because he's gonna have to put his hearing aid in. And be like, what did you say? We're gonna repeat ourselves a lot.
Is that why your family is so loud?
No, he wasn't always old. He's 74 and he's falling apart. In your 70s, you start to fall apart. In your 80s, you're lucky if you can keep it together. In your 90s, you should be dead. Everybody should die in their 90s. If you make it to 100, fuck off. That's a fuck you to everyone. You know what I mean? If you're 100, you're like,
yeah, because you got no money left in the retirement fund.
You don't need retirement. America just takes care of you at 100. You only need $12 to live. Everything's free at 100. But it's just fuck you. Because also, what are you doing besides sitting around and watching reruns of Cheers?
That should be a thing. If you reach 100, everything is free.
Well, I mean,
I'm going to live here. Okay.
Most restaurants, I think after 80 are they have the early bird or senior citizen discount. Things are a lot cheaper.
And they're also not giving them hard food at that point.
No, but it's just restaurants everything's cheaper because they know they're out working and they just get Social Security, which they said wouldn't be around for us. But here we are 25 years away. And it's there. And it's still going to be there for us 25 years away.
You are a quack if you think it's going to be there for us.
You don't think it's going to be there in 25 years?
Absolutely not.
Why is it not going to be there in 25 years?
Because
where is it going?
One side has been dying to take it away.
And then what's going to happen then? What's going to happen when we hit 65? We're just effed?
They're just going to be like, well, we took all the money.
They've been
just
saying that
housing.
For 30 years, bro. It's not going away. In 25 years, nothing's going to change that drastically.
Sure.
If anything, life is going to be a lot easier for senior citizens. Dude, we're going to have a good time when we're 65, 70. Things are going to be very easy. There's going to be robots just delivering us things. It's going to be a fun time to be old.
Okay.
We're going to be wow, retirement homes are parties.
Okay.
But that's going to cost money, retirement homes.
Yeah.
But so we're going to have to like, the thing for you and me is we're not going to have kids to take care of us. So we're effed. We're going to be stuck in an apartment in LA, forgotten, and nobody's going to take care of us because we don't have a family.
No, see, well, you've got nephews and nieces. They'll just be
they got their own parents to take care of.
They'll be like, shit, we got to take care of Uncle Mike.
They got their own parents. You know why? That's why when I'm 65, I'm going to find someone and I'm just going to be like, let's go. Shoot it up. I'll find a 38-year-old desperate woman.
You got to go young. You got to make sure.
Yeah, if I'm 65, I'll find like a 38-year-old desperate woman who's like, I need to have kids tomorrow. And you're like, let's go.
Let's do this.
Like that. There's a lot of 38-year-old women out there who are like, you know, even 35 to 43-year-old women who are like, I need a kid tomorrow.
They'll be like, he's 68, but he had like an HBO special like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I'm down for that. All right, let's recap. I went to Orlando, visit the family. While I was in town, I look up the Improv. What I do, what I often do is if I know I'm going to be out of town and I'm not going out of town for shows, let's say I'm going home for holidays or if I'm going back for a wedding or etc., whatever, I will, wow, that girl's very beautiful. She has a very beautiful face. That's all.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry, I just got distracted. You said look into the camera because you saw me go like this. And
yeah, you were just staring like a fucking.
Well,
awkward...
I mean, listen, when you see something like you're like, oh wow, that's a very beautiful lady, you know, girl, whatever. Good for her. Was she? She's one of your workers?
No, she's a client.
A client.
Yeah.
Does she need a guest on our podcast? I'm just kidding. So. So what I do, and I've said this before, so if there's younger comedians listening, I kind of look up the improv schedules or the comedy clubs in any city I'm going to, if I'm staying there, and see if I know the headliner. If I have any rapport with them, then I'll be like, yo, I'm going to be in town, etc., whatever, you know. And I saw Tony Rock was there, and I'd recently been working with Tony Rock like at the Laugh Factory in Long Beach or at the Improv. So I know he thinks I'm funny, at least, because I followed him and we've chatted, and you know, sometimes you're sitting in the green room or whatever, the comics table before you go up, and the way you you know, the conversations you're having with a comic, you could tell like, okay, they respect you. At least that's how I'm perceiving it. But I didn't ask. I was just like, hey man, I'm going to be in Orlando when you are. Is it cool if I come chill? He's like, yeah, come through. We'll go out. So I show up on Friday and he has 2 shows. And I get there and, you know, he has this other guy who I recognize who helps run shows for Ruben at the Laugh Factory named Jesse, nice guy. And then another comic, his opener. I don't know him. I never met him, but that's his opener. And we're sitting there and then the guy comes in. He's like, all right, you guys want to start the show? And he's like, yeah, he'll go up too. And he just offers me to go up. So I do a guest spot on each show, which is cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, because it's like Tony Rock.
Yeah.
So it's cool. And you know, I go up and I just riff for 10 minutes. I do well. And then bring up, and it was a fun time. And then we go out, we drink, we have a good time. And then I go home. And then Saturday I go back, you know, don't ask again. I'm hanging out, just like hanging out, but I'm not going out because I got to fly to Fort Lauderdale the next night because I got 2 shows in Fort Lauderdale. So I'm not going to go out, but I just wanted to be around comedy. I go there. I don't get to go up. No offers. So, not that I was expecting it, but part of me was like, oh, maybe I'll probably go up today too if I went up Friday, but it wasn't offered. So then in my head, I'm like, huh, I hope I didn't do a bad job. And you're like, that is fucking comedy to a T. It does stuff to you like that. And you're like, oh, you're like, all right, hope I didn't piss somebody off. But it was fine. We're hanging out and Tony's cool. Like he's like, whenever I see him, like I feel like we pick up where we left off. But you still, in your back of your head, you go, huh.
Why didn't he put me up again?
Yeah, you do that. That's a natural thought. Because it was like, oh, well, I went up Friday. Why not Saturday? So I was like, huh.
And he was like, I already gave you a spot on a day.
Sure. That like could totally be it. But logically, in your head, you go, huh.
He should be giving me a spot every night.
No, you just, or like, you're like, huh,
You
did I,
entitled.
but it could be entitled. It could very well could be an entitled thought process. But my thought process is immediately going to an insecurity of like, I hope I didn't rub someone the wrong way in the camp.
Yeah.
Or at the club, and they're like, yo, just keep it 2. You know what I mean? Like, I know what I did. I know I did fine.
Knowing you probably pissed off his opener. You probably,
that's what I'm saying.
You probably
that's what I'm saying.
Treated him like a little brother.
No, I didn't. No, I was asking him.
They were like, oh.
That's what I'm saying. You just never. The thing is, here's what I will say this. I go, when you're around someone who's like, you could say a star or something like that, and there's people who work with them, they're very territorial. I'll say that. They're very territorial when there's a newbie around.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I'm in there, and I'm a friendly guy. I get drunk. I like to get silly. I'm pretty opinionated. I say what's on my mind all the time. Could be a flaw for me. That very well could be a flaw. But if I'm in a room and Louis right there and his crew's there and fucking, maybe not Rogan because I know how to be around him, but it's like Bill Burr and Louis, and we're in a room and there's like 4 other comics that I'm comfortable with, that I have a rapport with, and we're drinking and I'm having a good time, I'm not holding back. I'm going to say what I want, because not that I think I'm at their level. I've been doing this long enough where I just don't care, and I'm going to say my opinion because that's where I'm at as a comedy.
Because you want to,
but I could read the room
treat
too.
them like peers.
Yes, but I'm also, but I'm very respectful. Like when I was in Tony's green room, I'm like, hey, is it cool if I order food? He's like, yeah, like that, like yeah, of course. But like I'm just. Listen, I'm a 38-year-old man acting like maybe a 24. I'm like, hey, is it cool? Like, I've been in so many green rooms, and I know that people are weird. Comics are weird, especially. A comic, like now that I'm starting a headline, I've been to some one-nighters where I'm the headliner and there's some local people, and then the comics are like, they're just, their legs are on the table. Like, you're like, oh yeah, you're just the headliner for this show. But you walk in, you're like, I would like to walk into a clean green room. That's my thought process. And I know that I'm not anyone, but I know if I'm having that thought, people have so many weird thoughts, right? So when I am in a green room of a comic I've never worked for before, which I'm not working for him, I'm just doing guest spots. I wasn't invited to do the shows. I just said, hey, I'm going to be there. Can I come hang out? Didn't ask for a spot. But when you're in those green rooms, I'm very aware of not, it's not like when I was opening for Chris or other comics that I knew for years, or like Fahim, where I'm just comfortable. Or if I was opening for Ian or someone, like I'm just like, I'm going to be myself, where it could almost be like, they could be like, hey man, you're being a dick. But I'm like, yo, we're friends. Like, I'm not looking at it as a work partner, if that makes sense. I'm more like, hey, we're hanging out in a green room and we're friends. When it's someone who I'm just like, oh, I have a rapport with in the comedy scene, now I'm like, hey, is it cool if I order food? I'm very respectful. Didn't start having a drink till they did. Got off early on the second show. Didn't get a light on the first set, so I don't know how long I did. I was supposed to do 10, but I remember being like, I'm just going to get off. I didn't see a light. And then on the second show, I made sure I got off at like 8, and I just did some crowd work, got him going, brought up the guy. First show, I did really well. I would say I was like, oh, I killed it. Second show was all right, a little tighter for me. And then we went out, drank, and I'm like, all right, like, did I say something? Did I overstep my boundaries? Who knows at that point? But I don't think Tony's not like that. He's more like a easy flowing guy. I got to pick his brain, ask him about comedy. I love doing that. And he likes talking about comedy. I could tell because I was asking him about writing and jokes, and like, you're watching someone who has the DNA of stand-up because his family, he comes from it. So he's naturally he's one of my favorite comics to watch, and he's inspiring because he's silly. It's like like a silly Chris Rock. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, that the whole experience was great, but you can't help to be like, even a 13-year comic, I'm sitting there going, huh. Did I expect to go up? I thought maybe, I assumed, I was like, well, if I went up Friday, I'll probably go up Saturday. Yes, I assumed it, and maybe that set me up for disappointment. But when I got there, and it's just like, it wasn't even mentioned, like, oh yeah, I can't tonight. Like, there was none of that. You know what I mean?
No,
That's
I feel
what
like
makes
it's a
me
little
go
inside baseball, but also like there's, like, he's probably got other mouths to feed. who are in town at that same time.
No, I'm there in the green room.
I know, but like for Saturday.
Yeah, I'm in the green room Saturday. What do you mean? I'm there in the room. Like, it's the same 4 people. There's only 4 of us in the room on Friday. It's the same 4 people Saturday.
Oh, you did something wrong then.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, you walked someone important.
Or like one of the 2 guys, Jesse, who I know, or the opener was just said something. There's no way Tony was rubbed the wrong way by me. He's just like an aloof, funny guy and chill, and like someone in Camp Tony, man. Because then why wouldn't he be like, man, tonight we just want to keep it tight. Like, say that.
Yeah.
But I like people to know me well enough that you could be very transparent. Say what's on, be like, nah, he fucking got pissed by this. I'm like, my bad.
I love the idea that you probably sat there all Saturday, like on pins and needles, going like, wait, am I gonna go home? Like,
yeah,
like every minute that someone was dumb,
But also, I invited my sister and brother-in-law to come so they could watch him on Saturday on the second show.
Oh, okay.
And then they met him and said, what's up? And I brought him and I was like, all right, it was good seeing you guys. Thanks for everything this weekend. Loved it. Had a fun time. I'll see you later. And we said goodbye. And my sister and them got to meet them. And then we left. So it was like, cool. It's all gravy, water under the bridge. But I can't stop thinking about like, it was a check to my ego.
Yeah, you'll never be able to message him again.
No. It's not message. Well,
you'll
I haven't,
never be able to be like, I'm going to come to hang out.
There's going to be, whenever I'm around Tony one night and we're drinking, and if it's like me having a drink with him and Mark and we're at the Laugh Factory or something, I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to be, yo. Hear me out.
For real.
What the fuck? Why didn't I get spots on the second show?
And he'll be like,
or maybe this will get back to him. Who knows? That's why I love this podcast, because I want to freely air out anything happens in my comedy career. From here on out, it's fresh fucking air. And I'm going to speak my mind. I'm not holding back anymore. That's what this is going to be going forward. We're going to do our fucking fake arguments.
We need to get you on Comedy Confessions then.
We're going to get my fucking fake arguments
I've got
going.
some for you too.
Well, I got a list.
I got a list too.
Of ones you've come up with?
Yeah.
Well, we're just doing one.
Oh, all right.
But we'll do it later. But I'm saying, that little thing is just kind of like, listen, whether you're a 2-year comic or a 13-year, that shit goes through your head still. You know what I mean? Like that shit is like, oh, and if I did, I want to know what I did wrong. And then so I don't make the same mistake. You know what I mean? Like I want to know, or I want to know who I offended, or like, what did I do? But it also, because in my mind, it's like the way I am, I'm very transparent. I would have told the guy like, yo, it's, we're going to keep it tight. Like I would have told the person, but then also part of me should have been like, yo, am I going to go up on the second show? Like I should have asked, but I don't want to make things weird. Because it's not my green room, and I don't want to put people in uncomfortable positions. But I think I might have got drunk and overstepped. I might have said some things when I was drinking to his buddy who was like selling merch, and I was like, "Hey man, I got some ideas for you."
Oh, you pitched him ideas.
Yeah, that I thought were better than what they were doing. Yeah,
Ooh.
That's the only thing.
That's what it was.
All right, there's another moment. All right, and I'll explain to you. We were out and we were going down to the bar after the club, right? After the show. And I was with his buddy, and they're like, we were waiting to get in. And I was like tipsy, and I was like, you guys need a lot of help. And his friend went, like I was taking a shot at him for not having things already set up. And I was like, relax. I was just joking, buddy. But I'm like, that's not a reason to make someone, I don't know.
That's what got you banned on Saturday.
It could be. It could be, man.
You're straight blacklisted.
Dude, we'll get to the bottom of it.
You don't fuck with the merch guy.
We'll see. I think he got mad, but we'll see. So then I go to Fort Lauderdale, 2 shows in South Florida on a Monday and Tuesday. I sold over 250 tickets. So ridiculous that I had to do it at like a bar show. It was like a bar show venue. Couldn't get a hold of the comedy clubs down there. Didn't want to respond. Very frustrating because it's like I'm starting to sell tickets, but like I keep getting hit. I keep hitting walls. So it's like, how long do I have to keep hitting walls? How much more work do I have to do before somebody starts to open up doors for me? I'm sure everybody feels like this in their career. But at a point where I'm like frustrated, where I know I'm good. I know people are fucking with me, so I'm like, why is there some people not fucking with me? It's like, and then it's hard to not think like, is this because you think this is just gonna fade out? That's I don't understand the process. Like, you think this isn't gonna work? Like, I text this to a guy. All right, I'll send this. Like, this was I got back because now I have 2 shows booked for like July, and that's it. Like, I want to have fucking 20 shows, and I go to, look, I've even hit you up, and that was like a year ago. I go, you don't know anyone you could hit up, blah blah blah, to help me book more shows, right? So I hit up this guy, and he is with where is it? He's with WME. I've known him for years. I remember maybe like 7 months ago. I was like, yo, man, any help, like whatever you can do, help me get some more one-nighters. Anything will be great. He's like, all right, let me see. He got me in contact with one email, but then I was like, anything else? And eventually he's like, dude, I just don't have the bandwidth. All right. And then there's another guy I reached out to. He's like, oh, I'm swamped. Try me back in 6 months. And then there's another guy I tried. No response. 3 different people that I know that know me that are just like giving me like, like, so I'm like, so you want to wait until it's a for sure thing? Because I'm not going away. Like, that's what I don't understand. That's my thought process of like, if you know the business, everybody that is around, if you know they have the work ethic and they're clocked in and they're a sane person, and if they don't die, they're going to get to that status of a working person, whether it takes longer or shorter, or you want to help them get there quicker, right? That's my understanding. All these guys, like, what do you think? Like, I wanted to tell a comedian, like, do you think like you'll watch a comedian? There's one in particular who's doing well right now, right? And he's cocky. That's not sustainable. I told someone the other day, I told little Anthony, I go, Anthony, he's been coming on the road with me sometimes. I go, and he's like 25. So it's a guy who like wants to learn from me. I go, Anthony, I'm 38. I've seen this in life before. I saw it in high school. I saw it in college. I saw it after college. I saw it in stand-up. I've seen it in life. Life will always win and humble you, no matter what. You cannot sustain a life of being like this ridiculous. Something's going to happen. And the one we're talking about, I love him. I think he's funny and he's great, but the way he's being, it's headed for a brick wall, bro. You cannot keep acting like that because something's going to happen, whether you get sick or someone attacks you or there's an accusation that comes out. Society's going to come at you. Like, if you keep doing that, what's the heightened version of that? It's so like, what's the guy who was crazy? Tate. Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate. Yeah.
Like him. It was like how long he was getting too big too fast with that point of view that society was like, fuck this. You can't sustain that if it's that ridiculous. Now, if he humbled out and was like, all right, it's an act, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to humble out or life in the world will. It's a fact. I've seen it so many times. Like, the older you get at our age, you start to see stuff. You're like, I've seen this before. I've seen this before. I've seen this before. It can't continue. Otherwise, in fucking 7 years, it's going to be ridiculous. It's going to end. Unless he can humble it out and be, even my interactions of seeing him around, I go, this is not going to end well. I've seen this before. And you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, we literally had a conversation in the studio yesterday about him. I'm like,
oh man. And like, I wish I was close enough to sit him down and be like, listen, man, love it. Keep going. You're successful, but you're going to hit a brick wall, bro.
Well, like I said, I was having a conversation with someone in the studio about it. And they were like, I just don't think I'd like him in real life. And I'm like, you couldn't be more wrong. Like, he's one of those guys that makes you feel like you're the only person he's talking to.
I've never been in that situation with him. You might have because you've worked with him, but I have always been like, hey, it's a little funny silliness. And he's never been arrogant or anything towards me.
He's never been arrogant
but
or
I've
anything.
seen it happening towards people he sees maybe as younger comics too.
Oh.
But that's not even what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the whole persona, it's like how far does this go before life goes? No.
Yeah.
That's all I'm like. We've seen this before, not even in entertainment, just in life. Like when you have the high school friend who's like all of a sudden feeling himself, things are going great. Bam, DUI.
Yep.
That's it. You're like, that's it. Oh, dude, we're getting too comfortable, doing cool things. Seen it in college. Kid gets jumped. You know what I mean? I've seen it. Like life. Bam. Oh, he's this, he's that. This is a fucking cancel culture. You know what I mean? I've seen it. It's just inevitable. You've seen it with baseball players. I've seen it with athletes.
Yep.
You see it with John Morant. Like it just happens, man. Kyrie. Oh, I don't need LeBron. Bam.
Yep.
You can't act like that. Kobe. Rape. You know what I mean? Humbled him out. Became a better person for it. Doesn't mean it's going to end, but fucking life will teach you a lesson, man, in all aspects of life. So anyways, back to this guy. I go, sometimes I get frustrated. I go, yo, dude, I know you're busy, but I thought I'd make this one last effort. I give him all my last 5, 6 one-nighters. I give him the number of tickets sold and what day of the weeks they are. I go, these are all my most recent one-nighters. I go, I'm at like 140 on IG, 50,000 on Facebook, 40 on TikTok. I go, I'm going to keep growing. I go, I have a solid hour on top of crowd work bullshit because of like whatever you get people are into. I go, if there's anyone you know who wants to help book one-nighters, please send them my way. Happy Memorial Day. Like, I'm like, what do you want me to say? I go, like, I'm implying, like, what do you think this is going to be in a year? Why? Well, like, what are you waiting for? Yeah. That's how I'm thinking. Unless I'm dead.
Yeah.
I don't see how this doesn't double. Like, with my work ethic, I don't see how I can't double this.
Yeah, I just think you're going to the wrong place.
Sure, but I'm going to the only places I know.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone else. You know, I'm going to wherever I have contacts.
Yeah.
If I knew someone at fucking Innovative or APA, I would hit them up.
Right.
I don't have a contact at APA who I think is a younger.
I'll connect you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, all right, like, what do you guys, because if you come to me in 2 years and my numbers on Instagram are 300 and 300 on Facebook, and now I'm making 5-10 grand a weekend, fuck you. Like, why am I gonna get? I did that on my own. Why now you want to take my money?
Yeah.
Like, where were you when I needed you? That's all I'm saying.
I know that's.
But he got back. He's like, all good to hear. I see you growing. I see you work hard. I see it. I'm gonna bring it up at our next booking meeting. Who knows if that's a pushover?
Yeah.
But that's a nicer response. You know. Yeah. So I don't know. But the reason I bring that up is just like the Fort Lauderdale shows. They're in the bars. They're fun. It was more like a high school reunion. A lot of people I knew, some of the Miami Dolphin players were there. Wasn't able to shoot the show because the lighting there sucked. Did a whole Tua bit, made fun of Tua to the players. They laughed. Very fun, good show, made money. And then I go to Austin the next night. Great room, great show.
Did you do Mothership?
No. But I got in and I partied there. So that's where I'm at.
Okay.
But I'm like, all right, another place I'm not going to ask, but everybody in Austin wants you to, they get you drunk. There's a lot of drinking and they convince you why you should move there. And I did spots all over town. So I did get the thing where I'm fully connected there, and I'll go there every 3 months and I'll do a bunch of spots because I could hit up all these comics. There's a bunch. The comedy in Austin is way more positive. There's people giving me affirmation. There's younger comics giving me affirmation. There's even comics I look at as peers who are nicer. They want to talk about stand-up. I drank at Mothership and Mitzi's. I had like 5 or 6 different conversations with different comics from all different levels that were very positive. They like to talk about stand-up. They like to do stand-up. The whole little fad that you have in LA of these guys doing these crowd work clips. Listen, I'm doing it too, but I'm riffing on stage. I don't consider my shit crowd work. It's more of me riffing into the crowd and just saying what I'm saying. But I'm doing an hour of material, or at least 45 minutes. These guys are setting up cameras doing a half hour. That shit's a fad. It's not going to last. It's not sustainable, especially in that town. These comics are good, man. I watched some young comics. There was this kid. His name's Cam Johnson. He's from Orlando. And he has been doing a comedy for 1.5 years. And I had to follow him. And I was worn out, and I didn't do as good as him. This motherfucker's 1.5 years in, black comic, old, dude, like a grandpa, old soul, murdering, talking about fucking crack and being in a gang. Fucking hilarious, though. And dresses like he sells M&Ms for his football team. I made that joke. I go, why does he look like he's trying to sell candy to you for his football team? I swear he wears flip-flops with socks and a white tee and pants. I go, this motherfucker looks like he walks up and he's like, yo, I'm trying to sell some M&Ms for my football team.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's, but he fucking murdered. And I was like, you know, when you see a comic, I haven't seen it for years, when you're like, this guy's a star.
He's got it.
He's got it. A year and a half in with the confidence of me. I'm like, what the fuck? I go, the guy's making me insecure before I go on. I was like, I'm gonna do my scooter bit. Like, what the fuck? So I linked up with him because he's from Orlando. I was like, dude, I'd love to get one-nighters in Orlando. Never been able to. He's already on top of it.
Nice.
Like, he's helping me get shows in fucking Orlando and Tampa.
There you go.
But I want to get his name. Dude, he was unbelievable. Because I like to shout these younger guys.
He was in Austin or
Florida? Yeah, he's in Austin and he's staying there. And I like to shout these guys out because
one of my favorite comics in Austin is a young kid who was like, Fresno area here. And then he moved to Austin. Do you know Nick Sapeglia? He works at Mothership now. He's a door guy there.
I would have. Oh, so
he's like Mitch Hedberg style one-liners.
Really? Okay, let me go over a few. This one is Cam So Funny. It's KAMSOO funny.
Okay.
All right. He just wears a white tee. Fucking unbelievable. So that's the shout out young comic I wanted for this week. Because last week I did it. When I did my last episode, I was doing some shout outs to younger comics.
Look at you.
I feel like
scratching back.
There was another one. I met this guy. I've never seen him, but he was a young guy. So we're not going to give him a shout out yet because I haven't seen him. So, but there was a lot of young comics. All right. Here's another guy. He's a mute. His name is I don't even know how to say his name.
He's a mute?
Aren Bellizel comedy. Mute stand-up comedy. Oh, not Aaron. I'm fucking this up.
Wait, how are you a comic when you're mute?
So he's been on, so he goes on stage and he has like a dog with him that helps him. He has cerebral palsy too.
Wait.
Half his body. He's got 120,000 followers already. So he's kind of in the clique of Austin, but he doesn't live there. He's from Canada. He just visits a lot. I'm gonna try to help him get spots out here, but he's gonna be on America's Got Talent. That's all I can say. And he'll do things like, parking in a handicapped spot. So he has a recorder.
Oh.
And he types. So there's a lot of dead air, but people are anticipating it, and then it laughs. And
I kind of dig that.
Yeah, you feel for him too.
Yeah.
So anything I could do to help him. I mean, and his Instagram is AHREN_BELISLE. But he seems like a great guy. And he'll be out here June 1st to 7th. So whatever we can do to get him spots, that would be great. But Austin, I've come to the conclusion if I can't live there, I don't like the city. I don't vibe with it. It feels dusty.
I don't love it anymore.
I need I've been there enough to know. I don't know if I could wake up in the morning and have a routine here. I don't know if I vibe with it feels like Florida without the beaches, which would be sad. You know, because at least Florida, you can smell the ocean and you're like, that's there. And there is a little bit of that beach life. And then there's Miami and there's Fort Lauderdale and inland. You're still only 14 miles inland. Austin, you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, there's a river, but I'm not connected there. I was like, I made the choice. I was like, I would never live here. Even if I could go up at the Mothership 5 nights a week, I go, yeah. I'd rather just come here 3 months a year. I'm connected with a lot of these young, talented comics who I can hit up, who are nice. They give you more affirmation there than I've ever had in my career. Whereas here, I'm around young comics. There are some of the young ones, and they're friends and stuff. But the peers here, it feels competitive. There's no friends building up friends here. But I still am gonna live here, and that's gonna be my New York. Yeah, because I can keep going back there, and it's a fun scene. So. All right, I'm getting in trouble. I got to wrap up here. Can we do a fake argument? Or do we have time? We have a little quick 6-minute riff?
Yeah.
6 minutes? All right, let's just start with the first one with, do you want to do, did you want to do one of yours or one of mine?
Do one of yours to start.
Why, do you have a good one?
I don't know. I feel like I've got a couple.
Well, we just do one because then that's the clip. So
do you like?
Let me hear one of yours, and if I don't like it, we'll go to mine.
All right. What do you like better, fresh pretzels or crunchy ones?
That's gonna be so. Are you saying like fresh, you're in the mall and a soft one?
Yeah, like a soft pretzel or a crunchy one.
I don't think this is a good debate that's gonna like get people going.
Okay,
it's not specific enough.
All right. What about people that wear jerseys with someone else's name on them?
I mean, Whitney Cummings and Crystalia have bits about that.
Oh, okay.
And Bill Burr, I think.
All right.
But I have no hold on. But by the way, I'll wear a jersey to a sporting event. I don't wear it out for.
Would you wear a Tua jersey?
Where?
Like to a game?
Yeah, I have. I have a Tua jersey
for a kid who's like 18 years younger than you.
Yeah, I have.
You don't find that weird?
No, because it's like that's what it's sports. You're a fan. You're a fanatic of a team.
A Dolphins jersey without the name on it.
No, that's stupid. I have a Marino one. I have a Tua.
The Marino one's different. You were a kid that idolized him.
Dude, you know what I bought? I bought a Jimmy Butler hoodie. He has his brand is Big Face Coffee. It's different. I know it's not jersey, but I bought his hoodie because I'm all up on Jimmy Butler. I would buy a Jimmy Butler jersey now. He's earned the right for me to buy his jersey. Yeah, he's younger than me by only like 4 years, but
fair.
He's earned it, dude. We're talking about elite athleticism.
I feel like once you're 10 years older than the athlete, you can no longer. Like,
okay,
it's just
so
weird.
Our dads can't wear a LeBron James jersey, one of the greatest basketball players.
Nah, because they had the MJ.
But even MJ's younger than them. You know what I mean? Like I can wear. Here's my thing. I'm not wearing a jersey outside of a sporting event. That's stupid. Jerseys are only for a sporting event if you're white. Fair. If you're white. If you're a white guy, jersey, only place you can wear a jersey as a sporting event. If you're Hispanic, if you're black, I would even say Asians can wear a jersey. The only race that cannot wear a jersey outside of a stadium or arena is a white person. The only time they can wear that jersey is leaving the stadium in the car. You can't just be like, it's Friday night, I'm going out, and be white and wear a jersey. That's ridiculous.
You can't go to the bar to watch the game in that jersey?
Ooh. You can go to a bar and wear a jersey, but you can't wear a jersey if you're white outside of the sporting thing, if that makes sense. Like if you're white, jerseys are only if you're watching the game at a bar or you're at the sporting event or you're at home watching it. But if you're Spanish, black, Asian, you could wear a jersey on a Wednesday at 9 a.m. and just be like, no, I'm going to pick up groceries. You're allowed to do that. And that's just the way life is. And people could say that's racist or stereotypical. No, that is societal rules. If you're a man, you cannot go into a female bathroom. If you're a female, you can't go into a man's bathroom. If you're white, you can't wear a jersey at 10 a.m. and go to Whole Foods. That is as plain and simple as it is. And that's all for this week, guys. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week on Life with Lenoci. Boo!